I'm more than what I'm doing instead of feeling overwhelmed by all the things that are asked of me? That's an excellent question, Carrie. I'm so glad that you asked that. Here's the thing is if you're saying I can only do 16 things at once, you're creating a limitation for yourself. You are blocking yourself and you are making it a habit. Next, we're going to jump into our show topic for today, which is about authenticity. When it comes to being authentic, these are most of our lives because kind of everybody else was, or that's what we felt like we were supposed to do. It fit our culture. It was part of the culture scape, as Vishen Lakhiani talks about it, because that's where I got the term Brules from. Vishen Lakhiani, by the way, is the founder of Mind Valley. Really brilliant guy. And he's also on the autism spectrum. So if you know anybody that's on the autism spectrum and you think the big step towards finding your authenticity, I want to tell you a story about being authentic. And I've got a mint in my mouth. And you guys, oh, you're kind of odd. That's okay. I'm good with it. There was a time when in elementary school we were waiting in line for lunch. So we had our whole class of 30 kids, 38-year-olds standing in line. And of course, the 8-year-old kid at school, I really was for the majority of the time. I have a tendency to be goofy. I have a tendency to be loud. And as a child, that was no different. In fact, as a child, I was even more boisterous than I am now. My parents used to say, that's Della. She marches to the beat of her own drum. So we're waiting in line, and I'm being to her telling me I was weird. It was almost like time stopped for me for a minute because I had to make a decision. I had to decide how I was going to acknowledge and claim my weirdness, or I had to feel embarrassed and maybe some shame for being goofy. And I understand at the time that I was making it, but I understood it more than I think I did. So Kelly said to me, Della, you're weird. And dropping now. I looked at Kelly and I had my head up high and I had my shoulders back and I said, thank you. Point is, I didn't just say thank you. In that moment, as an 8-year-old, I made a decision that affected the rest of my life because in that moment, judgments on me. But them projecting their judgments on me didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was that I was me. What mattered to me was that I didn't hide behind some version of what I thought somebody else might want me to be. What mattered to me was that it was okay to be. Before I answered, I made the decision that it was okay to be weird. And that was not the first time. That was a power that I was willing to be that, because I could have just as easily, guys, hold up, if you're feeling any kind of, gosh, I didn't do that. If you're feeling any kind of shame, any kind of guilt that you made a different decision, drop it right now. I could have just as easily made the decision to put my head down and apologize. I almost did. In that split second, I weighed both of those reactions because I want to be growing and changing and develop better. I want to be learning. Because like I said, you're never going to. Very different, aren't they? And it's your job right now to want to be world into the universe. You think, okay, Della, sure, I'd like to be authentic. How do I do that? I can't go back to 3rd grade and have somebody call me weird. You're right. The first thing that you can do right here, right now, to decide who you really are is to decide what you like and what you don't like. And you are on even ground with everybody else, because every single other person on the planet is trying it out, they also know that their authenticity is never, ever stagnant. And if they want to maintain their authenticity, they must maintain the growth that comes with their personality and persona over time. So you're always, always growing. You're always, always becoming more of who you are. The trick is to start to choose who it is that you want to be. And start with this. What do you like? What do you not like? A recent adaptation I made for my own authenticity was deciding to not eat. I'm not going to eat it anymore. In fact, this week to him, you know what? And there was a time when I would have just gone with it. I would have said, hey, he's my husband. It's a date. We'll have fun together. Self sitting at home reading a book than I would have if I'd gone to the movies with him. And in fact, if I'd gone to the movies with him, it might have irritated me and I might have gotten irritated at him and it might have actually hurt our day and not made it better. So as it was, he went with a friend. And review of the movie was that the last 15 minutes were the only part worth watching. So I'm really glad I didn't go. And stop pretending that you don't like stuff that you do. We worry so much that if we have this idea that if I'm different from how other people are, maybe they own, and make sure that everybody else likes me. They would reject you by kicking you out, and then you're in the wilderness by yourself, probably going to die. So people gained a fear of rejection based on that's not true. And here's another truth. The thing about authenticity, like impressed by if you like yourself, because if you don't like yourself, why should they bother liking you? On the other hand, if you like yourself, people can see notice somebody that you like a lot, somebody that you admire a lot, they have a lot of characteristics and qualities that you around those people more. You kind of hope it'll rub off on you, don't you, a little bit? So when you, other person, every person, even the people who love themselves, wish they loved themselves just a little bit more. You can always go up. And when you like yourself, the other people watching, they'll go, ooh, she's got it. She's got that. I want that. I wish I was like that. They may not even be able to identify or verbalize what it is about you that they like so much. But when you love into the world, and when other people see you liking yourself, it gives them permission to like themselves. And you know what happens? It brings more love into the world. And when they're themselves, then somebody else might know what happens. It brings more love into the world. And that yourself better. Macaroni and cheese, stop making macaroni with them. Find some people that you do like better. Find something that makes you feel better and do it. Vishen Lakhiani, part of your whole, this drink in the morning, or you watch this show at night. Why do you do those things? Why do you take that route to work? Why do you want to be? And ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if doing that serves a purpose for you, makes your life better, keep doing it, maybe do it more. If things that you're doing don't make your life better, they wear on you, they don't feel good to do, and there's no real beneficial purpose for doing them, stop. Will for you to, and it will give you permission to be. Remember, we are live on episode will be uploaded to